So one of the questions I get asked a lot regarding Peace Corps is why did I decide to leave? Now, besides the reasons that I have shared already for why Peace Corps did not serve me and my purpose, there's still some more stuff that I think I can share at some point. But as far as another reason why I left Peace Corps, so I was placed in Jamaica. I've shared that. If you have not been to Jamaica, and I am not talking the resorts, I'm talking off the beaten path in Jamaica with the Jamaicans that live there every day, not the ones who are Americanized, who have traveled abroad and spent a lot of time other places, who are there to entertain you as their job and that kind of things. There are so many beautiful aspects to all of it, and Jamaicans are entertainers. They can be people, but when you, I am not trashing Jamaicans. I am not saying bad things about Jamaicans, just kind of the reality. You can ask Jamaicans about Jamaicans, they'll probably say the same thing. Mind you, I am Jamaican as I'm saying this, okay? The culture is tough. The culture is tough. When you get placed in Peace Corps Jamaica, we were often called Posh Corps. You get to go on the islands where people vacation and all this stuff, and yes, for sure. However, your Peace Corps budget is probably not going to accommodate you to actually, access those places on a regular basis. But yes, obviously being placed in a tropical vacation destination is a beautiful thing. So greatness to that. However, as far as it being cash, when I was serving in Jamaica, Jamaica was one of the countries with the highest early termination rate. People get placed in Jamaica for a lot of reasons. Some people select that. It's also the place where a lot of people get placed, maybe who are older or who have medical conditions, just because if something happens, you can be in the US like this. It's really easy to take care of that if you were to have some sort of medical condition or something and you needed some sort of treatment, versus if you were in East Asia or Eastern Europe or something like that, you can get quick medical care. That's another one of the reasons. It has the highest ED rate, so that's one of the things. It's just that people who were getting there already had some sort of vulnerabilities or things, other factors in the way that might not allow them to finish their service, so that contributes to it. I think it was also, I don't want to say it's kind of like you don't qualify for anywhere else, so we place you. There was some of that as well. There were definitely people who were serving there who had selected Jamaica. That's where they wanted to be. But like I said, one of the biggest challenges about serving in Jamaica is the culture itself. Jamaicans are a great people, but Jamaicans are a rough people. They have to be. And when you learn about Jamaica and the history, if you didn't know, the unruly slaves, like the slaves that they just could not get to follow the rules, to act right, to conform to what they wanted them to be, Jamaica. That's where they went. So that blood runs thick, and you see it, It's in me. So that's another one of the things. But just navigating the culture as a whole. I've traveled to many places and just had a arms wrapped around warmness, welcome. And that's not to say that there are not Jamaicans that offer that. But as a whole, I think it's very, in a way, it's necessary. There's some protections that need to be put in place. There's some boundaries that need to be put in place. But for that to be kind of the common thread across interactions with people, for you to come from a different culture and that not to be your culture, in the way that you exchange and interact with people, it is really it's like climbing over a wall that is solid and high. You've got to work at it. It takes a lot of time. You've only got 2 years there in total, you know what I mean? So you got to work hard and dig in. But navigating the cultural aspect was really something that was very challenging. And I say that even as a Jamaican. The relationship that I have and the experience that I have with Jamaicans, I'm family. So when I'm dealing with Jamaicans, already my wall is not there, or it's not as high because we have a relationship, we share blood. But when you are placed in the home of someone who has a wall, you think you've been invited in, but that wall is in that home. That is something to deal with, and I don't think it's something that I won't even speak for just myself, because we shared a lot during, when all the volunteers got together, we had a lot of similar experiences. But the way that all of us struggled with host families, building relationships with other people, it was a very lonely experience. And that's not to speak for Peace Corps overall. Like I said, there are definitely cultures where that's not going to be the case. People are going to welcome you. They're going to, I know people who came out of Peace Corps with besties, for sure. But coming out of Peace Corps Jamaica with a bestie, chances are slim. Let me give you an example. Have you ever seen that video? It's a little white boy, and I think he's reading a scroll type situation of just Jamaican patois sayings, and he's saying them like his grandmother, I believe. Everything just sounds really angry and aggressive. And I reposted that video on my story after I had returned from Jamaica, and I'm friends with some people like on social media from Jamaica. And she was on the staff, I posted it, and she sent me a message and was very offended. She was like, I don't like how this represents Jamaicans. It makes us seem like we're always aggressive and loud, da da da. And I was like, I see your offense, but if I dropped you in the center of a Jamaican community at any point in time, would you hear an interaction like that within 5 minutes? Probably. But the other thing is like, what Americans perceive as aggression, or what we would hear and say, oh, someone sounds angry, they're about to fight. That's just how a lot of Jamaicans talk. So if you're not familiar with the culture, you may see it very much from that aspect. However, when Jamaicans are interacting with Jamaicans, they know this is not a threat. This is not an aggressive way of speaking. But I'm telling you, if you are from outside or you are not familiar, you might be nervous.